Hey everybody, welcome to another episode, or the final episode of Kamen Rider Kuuga Kamentary.
Yep.
The worst part of Kuuga ever, apparently.
Hey, I didn't say the worst part. Well, alright, I did say the worst part. In those specific words.
You thought I was good, like, you thought that I had said the worst part of Kamen Rider ever, just...
No, alright. So I say the worst part, but only due to the fact that, so... There are advantages and disadvantages to formulaic episode structures, Monster of the Week and stuff like that. And unfortunately for Kuuga, unlike a lot of Kamen Rider series, I don't know, I guess a lot of series that I know of, around the last act, the third act, they decide to ditch the formula and go for like the final stretch of plot. Now, Kuuga kind of does that, but it doesn't drop the formulaic stuff, and that kind of hurts it a lot, especially because there's just this really long drag of episodes where nothing happens. Where
it's like we're literally at the point where everybody's character arcs are over, except for one. And any new character arcs that are introduced via side characters who show up like once every 10 or so episodes. Well, my bad, 2. Because this is the stretch episodes where the girl who has a crush on Yusuke is dealing with her angst.
Oh, that was literally so... I mean, I guess it was a little interesting in a way, but she's like so out of focus through the show. Like, she's a recurring character. I wouldn't call her a main character, but she's just so out of focus throughout the entire show that like it's almost like whenever she shows up, it's a reminder. Like it's like, oh look, this character exists. She wants to be an actress and all this good stuff.
Basically what happens is because she goes to a whatchamacallit?
Alright, so she goes to an audition for a part in a play or a commercial or something like that, and she misses it out on this one other girl, and this other girl, what does she do? Talk smack about her dead teacher?
No, the thing is that the other girl said, looks at her and says, from her quoting, says, the other girl looked at her and said, "It's easy. All you have to do is think of somebody like your acting coach being hurt by the wrong." Like, she said it. She said a comment that was all in all innocent at its base, but because she doesn't know what's her name's experience of having her teacher actually killed by one of these monsters, she is really hurt by it.
Whatever. So she deals with this by saying, "Oh, I want to kill her." She goes straight on for I want to murder this bitch, and so her uncle. Coffee Man, Chamalama Ding Dong Man.
Yeah, he talks about how he's like, she goes, "Have you ever thought of wanting to kill anybody?" And he goes, "I have, but I haven't done it because I know that it is a thing that you don't want to live with." And then then she runs away, and then Godai finds her, says the same thing. He says, "What, like." Even if you like, she even.
Well, hold on, wait. This is also important because of what Godai says, and what Godai.
I was gonna include that. Godai starts talking about how, he starts like he de-escalates it. He goes, "So you don't want to kill her, but like you probably really do want to punch her, and that I'm all for. But just so you know, if you punch her once, there's a chance that you're gonna punch her again, and then again, and then again, and then again, and then you're not going to be able to stop yourself because you're going to get carried away with the violence, because this person hurt you." And he is directly he's directly referencing he's referencing his beating of the hedgehog Grongi prior to when he first gets his glimpses of ultimate form.
Yeah, he's talking. He does regret that his violent outbursts and how dangerous that could be, as strong as he is. So so basically, yeah. So after that, she goes up to. All we see is her go up to the girl as Godai goes and fights, a monster. I don't even remember which monster he was fighting.
I didn't care which one, honestly.
Yeah,
it's like because it's the same formula while trying to push the final arc or final part of the plot. It's like all these monsters are super boring. The only thing is he struggles a bit because they're all slightly stronger than all the other monsters, but at the end of the day he still beats them.
Yeah, but so she goes up to the girl that said the thing at the audition, and then we don't see the whole confrontation, and we cut away back to Godai whooping ass, and then he goes back to the restaurant, and she's there, and she gives him the thumbs up or whatever, right? Is it the restaurant? Yeah. It was something like that.
Honestly, out of the entire last stretch of episode or last 10 episodes that we watched, this was honestly one of my two favorite moments.
What,
him having the talk with the girl?
I mean, yeah, it was a really good moment, but it's also unfortunate that it's basically smack dab in the middle of nothing happening.
I mean, that was one of the other thing that I really like, which you saw me get excited about, was when they go to resolve Scientist Lady's Scientist Lady / John's arc of getting Scientist Lady to hang out with her kid.
Yeah, all right. So I think we mentioned John. No,
we have mentioned John.
Yeah,
we definitely mentioned John.
Hey, John, remember that time you didn't expect magical bullshit to happen and almost got fired? Okay. So, in this, they touch on it a little bit earlier on, but it's really in this final stretch of episodes to resolve the Enokita is her name, the scientist lady who's developing all the weapons, who's studying Goram, the horse armor.
Yeah.
And her character arc is that she's a workaholic and she doesn't spend a lot of time at home. And her kid's acting up because her kid's 7, 6, whatever.
Yeah,
he's super tiny. He's super small child, and he really wants his mom, but she's sciencing out, saving the world, and all she has for help is her mother, the child's grandmother, and she's harping. Well, I don't want to say harping. She's pleading with the mother to spend time with the child, eventually culminating in. The child, or what's Sayuru or something like that?
I don't know. It's not really that important.
He's very important to the mom.
He's important to that arc.
So a little young child decides that instead of going to school on Bring Your Parent to Work Day, he's going to lock himself in his room because he can't bring his parent to work because she's off working. Ironically, because more unidentified. It's that kind of thing, that cliche thing, a parent with important job has to go spend time with the family to prove that they're not a workaholic, but then big important bad thing that requires them at work happens, and they have to go work and thus prove that they're a workaholic instead of not a workaholic. So it's like you kind of understand the child's feelings, but then you're really thinking she's really important to the research team, the research and development of the weapons to fight the monsters.
Which is why her child had to be like as young as he is, because if it were any older child, like going from like 12 upwards, that child might probably understand that she has to do a thing.
Yeah, any older than 12 would definitely have been like, this child would understand at least on a base level. But because he's like 6 or 7, all he understands in his childlike mindset, or in his child's mindset, is that his mom isn't home. Period. Like, he might like hear that, oh, she's off saving the world, blah blah blah, monsters, yada yada. But like, the bottom line is, when you are that young, you want your parent like around. You want your parents, especially if you have a single parent. I'm speaking from experience here. Like, you want your parents around. You want to interact with your parents, and you're not old enough to understand why you can't. So I understand it from the kid's point of view, but it's also like uninteresting now that I'm an adult and I don't care anymore. Like, I'm an adult. Like, I fucking dealt with it. Grow the fuck up, child.
And then then you inject John into the situation.
Oh, you inject this Frenchman, this hideously gorgeous Frenchman,
who's adamantly like not just like, he's not straight pushing her, but he's like, at nearly every turn he's making suggestions that she spend time with her child.
I think isn't he the one that gives her the arts and crafts
book?
Yeah,
he gives her an arts and crafts book, says, this will be something to do with your kid, and then she's like, oh yeah, and then she goes back to work.
Yeah, literally.
And
it becomes,
it gets to the point where like, she's done sciencing for the entire show.
Yes, because her science has now culminated in bullets that can kill the Grongi.
Yes.
She made a weapon that can kill the monsters. It's really almost unfortunate that they only have a chance to use it on one Grongi, because that's all that's left. At that, well, all that's left aside from like a certain key ones.
It's like there's 4 Grongi left in the series. Like 50% of them killed by Kuuga.
No, not even. There were 200 Grongi revived.
No, I'm talking about out of the 4 that were left.
Oh, yeah. Of the 4 that were left, 50% were killed by Kuuga. But of the 200 Grongi, like 150 of them were murdered by Daguva. Basically their king. Their number 0. Just, Daguva murdered the shit out of almost all the other Grongi in like a month.
Yeah,
I want to say it was. They say he killed triple of Kuuga. He has triple Kuuga's kill count in like a ninth of the time, because it's been like 9 months. Because we're back around to winter.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've also gone back around through the seasons to the winter after like 9 months. So he's killed triple in a ninth of the time. It's some ridiculous number like that. Of course, you have to take into account the fact that he's basically mass slaughtering them all. Like, they're all like chilling out somewhere, and he just kills like 10 or 20 at once. Or 30.
New canon. 35 killed by Daguva.
No.
Yes.
No, because his Gigeru time would have run out. It's like, oh, you have to kill 1,400 people in a day. And he did, and he would have done that. Had Kuuga not killed him, and he would have killed 11 more people. Because he only killed 1,389. I still think his goal was supposed to be 1,400, but he missed out on like 11 people, and then he got murdered by Kuuga, and then that's what happened. So, all right, so we're done talking about the character arcs. Now we can talk about like the main arc. So, and that's actually a good segue, because we were just talking about Daguva. So, I think in our last commentary, we were talking about how there was the bloodbath with the Kuuga symbol on the wall.
Yeah.
So it turns out that symbol isn't the exact same as the Kuuga symbol, because it has 4 horns, right?
Yep.
It had 4 horns as opposed to Kuuga's 1, 2, or 3. So they're like, well, this is a different symbol. What could it mean? And then everyone's just, and then as all the science people,
they realize that that's the moment that they realize that the Kuuga symbols are different. Like, that's the moment that they're like this looks different from the Kuuga symbol, and then one person walks into the room and said, I
think it was Yusuke.
Yeah, somebody. Doesn't matter. All that matters is that the expert didn't figure it out. Sakurako's like, somebody walks up to Sakurako and goes, oh, hey, maybe all the Kuuga symbols are different, or to some extent. And then she looks at it and goes, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different Kuuga symbols? Why would they be different?
Oh yeah, and then I think it was Godai who said, well, maybe Kuuga is just going to get 4 horns one day. Or no, someone else says it, because then he thinks about his flash to ultimate form. Spoilers, ultimate form has 4 horns. So at that point, it's like, it just took the simplistic approach. Sometimes you just got to use Occam's razor. Just the least, it's like, oh, well, Kuuga had 1 horn, and then he had 2 horns, and then he had 3, which was Rising Mighty form. Mm-hmm. And now, maybe one day Kuuga will have 4 horns. So it just becomes something like that. But the important thing is that the Daguva, it also turns out that the symbol that symbol that they thought was the Kuuga symbol was actually the symbol for Daguva. So basically, the symbols for Kuuga and Daguva are the same, and you can also, and they're almost similar kind of words. Not really. Now that I think about it. I was thinking about it, and then I thought about it.
You put it out there, and then you realized your mistake.
I thought about it for not at all when I should have thought about it for longer than not at all. They find out that Kuuga and Daguva have some sort of relationship of some sort, and then we also get a point. We finally you know what? There's actually another character arc we forgot that wraps up in these episodes. Batman.
Oh yeah, I forgot because he's. We sat down this session to finish up the show, and then at the very start of this session, the Batman gets jobbed super hard. And that's why I forgot about it.
Oh, it wasn't just that. Okay, so I think we may have mentioned that Batman does something. Our little bad bitch boy, he stole a piece of Daguva and absorbed it into himself, thus multiplying his strength exponentially, making him on par with the recent, or actually making him a lot stronger.
What it is because they absorb the part of Daguva, they get that same ability that Daguva and Kuuga share, which is the evolution power to get stronger over time.
Yep.
And so after he absorbs the Daguva piece, he's just getting stronger,
and it's great. Because he starts talking shit to the fingernail girl, the moving boxes.
Yeah.
He starts talking shit to one of the people doing their Gegeru, and he actually starts fighting them. I guess unfortunately we don't understand what they're talking about because all we have are Japanese subtitles for their Grongi language.
Yeah.
So we can't obviously read Japanese because our subtitlers didn't decide to subtitle the subtitles.
Yeah.
So we have no idea what they're saying, even though we technically should. But I
feel like ultimately it didn't matter too much.
No.
Nearly everything that we don't understand about the Grongi, once you hit a certain point and one of them says one sentence in Japanese, it literally, you can infer everything that they said before.
Yeah, you can use a bit of inferring. So even though some people will be able to understand the Grongi subtitles, because even on the DVD releases, they gave you the subtitles for when the Grongi are speaking in their native tongue. But I recommend not doing that because there's actually super spoilers really early on if you do that. So early on, I'm really glad they didn't do that. But later on, when I really want to know what they're saying, But I guess something along the lines of if Batman defeats this poison cheetah or poison Wolverine claws, whatever. Yeah, this poison bitch. He gets to do her Gigeru or something like that. I don't know. Either way, he's out trying to also be Dakuva and start murdering things. And Kuuga shows up, or the police show up.
Yeah.
And then they nope the fuck out of there because they
see the two groggy fighting, and then it's the best ever because it's not like somebody says, guys, let's pull back. We don't want to get caught up in this fight with all this fucking acid being thrown around. They all just quietly straighten up and then walk out.
They just don't even want to be there. So then Kuuga shows up, and they're still fighting, and he can't do much, because not only is he fighting two Grongi, one of them is about as strong as all the other Grongis he's been fighting recently, which are exponentially stronger than the Mooks he was whooping ass early on. And now we have new and improved Batman, or number 3. And
basically, like, he's now fighting two A-tier guys when he's only used to fighting them one-on-one.
Exactly. So, I think I don't even remember how it went down, but he's fighting both of them.
The bat runs away, and I think he gets hit by some poison. By some acid. And then she retreats, and then then they go on about
Then the formula happens where she continues her Gigeru, and they figure out her pattern, then Kuuga goes, and he whoops her ass.
And then we get one of the best things ever, where Ichijo is in the hospital because he got hurt. Don't worry, he shrugged it off.
They said he needed like 3 weeks of recovery time.
Yeah, he sat down for like an hour tops.
Oh, he was forced into that bed rest because he was asleep. That's the only reason he didn't get up faster. They're like, Ichijo, you need 3 weeks to recover. I look at Alan and I go, I bet he's out in 2 weeks. Alan's just like, I give him a day. He's up and about. 10 minutes, like episode time.
He's
10
up
minutes.
and about like minutes after we say this to each other.
Yeah, minutes. In show, it's probably been an hour at fucking most. And everyone knows that's what's gonna happen. Tsubaki is just like, yeah, he's gonna get up and start trying to work again. I
think the only reason Tsubaki just didn't give him more morphine is probably because he gave Ichijo like the max that you can give somebody before it gets to like dangerous levels, or to the levels where like the hospital is going, why are you giving him this much?
Yeah. I feel like that's probably what would happen.
But anyway, fucking.
So then it's not long after that Batman decides to like start whooping some Kuuga ass. Like, our Batman is finally getting his time to shine. He's lost his weakness to sunlight. He's stronger than Kuuga. He's got gorgeous, luxurious, full head of hair now.
Yes, those fucking locks.
Those locks were gorgeous.
No, but the part that I was going to get to that was my favorite is because Ichijo's in the hospital. Fucking Yusuke or Godai hangs out with his like third in command, and when they're sitting down, the dude talks about his fucking fan calendar for Kuuga, where he goes, I have a calendar that marks down every single one of your wins in every form that you were in. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that was super cool. Like, he's got it all color coded. He's like, oh, you beat this one in red form, this one in green form, and then he had the one white dot in one of them because of that time he killed the mushroom in white form.
Yeah,
and it was really cool. And wasn't that also relevant for the episode?
Yeah, the only way it could have been better is if, like, fucking when he starts doing the rising forms, he puts like an extra gold star on top of the sticker,
or like a gold outline or something.
Yeah.
That would have been super cool. But oh yeah, it's Godai sees that and he's just like, and he somehow just remembers.
No,
like,
it's at least another like in universe like hour later before he puts the two together.
Either way, he like remembers the color coding of this bitch's Gegeru, like because she starts with like taxis, and then they stop the taxi services, and then they're like stop the buses too just in case, because remember that one time that bitch was killing people at pools and we shut down the pools and she went to the beach, so they were like, we're gonna stop the taxis, we're gonna stop the buses. So then she's just like, okay, I'll just use an elevator.
I don't understand how they figure out her like next color target, because they never see the arrangement of her nails.
No, because they remember. That's what I'm about to get to. Godai somehow remembered, even though it wasn't brought to anyone's attention. All right, it was kind of brought to our attention because she was painting her nails. But either way, it wasn't brought to. It's brought to the viewer's attention in such a subtle way that we actually missed it. But the point is, Godai remember. It's back to the Chopin's Revolution thing, where
no, but like this is like a thing. It was a straight up thing where like yet. Unless there's like some sort of color wheel that I don't know.
It wasn't a color wheel. She did a full rotation. Like by the time Godai recognized the pattern, she had done the pattern at least once. See, he was like, "Oh, remember the blah 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 was orange or whatever it was, and blah 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 blah. Oh, and the elevator was white, and it's like, what color was this thing?" And they're like, "Oh, blah," and he's just like, "Okay, well, we just literally had an attack, so the next thing is going to be orange. Then we're going to be like, oh, we need an orange box." And it's like a big-ass train.
Let's just chalk that up to I wasn't paying attention.
You weren't fucking paying attention. That's okay. But what's really funny about that is after they shut down basically any moving thing that had a color, the rules master was going up to this bitch and like, hey, you need to find an orange box with people in it. Gotta complete your Gegeru. And she's just like, shut up, I know.
And then she decides, then she's like, there's still one thing that they didn't stop, and it turns out to be a train. And then everybody's like, guys, there's one orange thing we didn't stop. And then, so, like, I guess Yusuke was like, Yusuke's like, I'm gonna head over there now! And then as he's heading over there, he just happens to come across her before they even get there.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, super convenient.
Yeah.
So then he kills her, and that was fun. It was just like one of those me remembering Godai. It was the Chopin's Revolution thing. Like, we're fucking uncultured swine for not paying attention enough, or not knowing fucking do re mi fa so and whatever. So then that guy whoops Kuga's ass.
Yeah.
Then Daguva shows up, and Batman is just like, I was only fighting you to get Daguva's attention, because now I'm gonna beat up Daguva, my king, or essentially, or whatever. So it's at this point, it's just like, bro, you powered up using a piece of Daguva. You really think you can take this guy on? He's kind of more than a piece of himself. He's kind of all of himself.
I mean, you could argue that it's a flatline trait that he got, and not necessarily like
no.
The evolution trait is like
no
a flat ability that
I am going.
But the thing is, like the part that goes with Daguva is that Daguva's been around longer, so he's had more time to get more power.
Oh, absolutely. He's way more powerful. So much more powerful that we can only assume he does a rider kick. Because as it turns out, Daguva is a rider.
So he doesn't even have to ride. Like, I'm fairly confident he's just like, he just sits there and stares at the bad guy long enough, and then a lightning bolt just puts the bat out of his mercy.
No, he rider kicks him and the lightning bolt comes down. Like, where Kuuga unleashes a nuclear explosion, Daguva releases a lightning strike, showing how much more in control of his explosive power he is.
Yes, that is. I was gonna say that.
So they find the corpse just in a tree, way above the ground, farther up than it has any right to be. And they go and they examine it, and they examine the corpse, and they find the formations of the Amadam crystal, the Kuuga belt crystal, inside of his stomach. And he's like, "Hey, he's got the same thing as you. What does that mean?" And they're just like, "Oh, he got a piece of the power of Daguva." And then it's also at this time, I think it's around this time, that Ichijo meets the Lady in Roses, and he doesn't shoot the shit out of her for no reason.
Yeah.
And she's just like, Daguva will become Kuuga.
Yep. By the way, I know what Daguva means when he says he was going to return the favor to Kuuga, and he's super referring to first Kuuga.
Oh, that's it.
Because he was going first Kuuga sealed him away in the darkness. Therefore, he was going to, when he took control or did whatever to new Kuuga, it was basically just the symbology that he was going to put him in the darkness.
Oh, I'm just returning the favor. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Daguva's a scary motherfucker. He's basically Slender Man, and every time he shows up, the camera starts fucking flipping out. There's lens flares fucking everywhere.
Godai has aneurysms or something like that every time he shows up. And then we get our neck.
Don't forget the time that happens, and Godai gets so distracted, he takes a spear through his shoulder and shrugs it off in 10 seconds.
Yes. Then we get while this is happening, Godai also has to fight the three upper echelon of fucking Grongi, who all got handpicked by Daguva, and so they all have Daguva shards to put in their bodies.
When the fuck did they say that? I missed that.
You missed the part, or you weren't paying attention to the part where the three showed up to the Lady in Roses, said that they're it's almost time for their Gegarus, and they all held up shards of Daguva.
Was that one of those times I was half asleep?
Probably.
I've definitely missed the shit out of that. I was like, oh yeah, they just have powers. What fucking ever. They can transform.
That's the reason why the final one looks like Daguva's growing form when he transforms.
Yeah, and he has basically all of Kuga's powers. He's got a Pegasus form, he's got a dragon form, he's got a Titan form. Yeah, and he even has the golden power.
Yeah, because they all start to get that power, kind of, where they all pick something up, it turns into a weapon for them, and then they it's the first one has the spear, but you don't really think anything of it just because every Grongi's been able to just manifest a weapon. And then the second one manifests as two different types of weapons, and then the third one does all the Kuuga switching.
Yep. And as for the Rules Master fought another Grongi. Which Grongi did he fight?
He fought the third one. The one that has all of Kuga's powers. What ends up happening is Ichijo shoots the counting board, or the
abacus, not abacus.
Yeah, the Grongi abacus, and it breaks.
Their ancient Babylonian base 4 math system.
Yeah, and then because it's broken, Kuuga Grongi has to restart his Gegeru. And then he goes, I don't mind restarting my Gegeru, but this is your fault because you let them shoot the board, and then so you're going to have to take responsibility for this failed Gegeru. And the guy's like, fucking bring it. And then they start fighting.
Yeah, he's just like, try it if you can. And he turns into this owl thing that looks kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But ends up being a fucking badass.
Not really.
I know, he was holding it out. He was holding it out.
The thing is, like, he's not really doing any damage. He's just playing to his strength of being able to play keep away.
Oh, get the fuck away.
Yeah.
He's still holding his own.
For a while. It's because the guy didn't use Pegasus form. Let's be honest here. If he had used Pegasus form, I bet he would have beat the owl guy like instantly. But you also have to keep in mind that the guy, the Kuuga Grongi, also really wants to fight people. Like he wholeheartedly just wants to fight people.
He's that anime villain.
Those are all.
I want the fight. I want an honorable fight.
Those are all my favorite. That or Over the Top. But anyway, eventually,
child eaters, etc.
Eventually, Ichijo and his partner show up, and they got the new double exploding bullet.
The bullets that literally explode twice.
Yes. No. I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's no real reason why this bullet needs to explode twice, other than to make it so that what's her face doesn't see her child
for like an extra amount of time.
Yes.
They double explode, but they also double explode with like muscle paralyzing, flesh eating bacteria bullets or some shit like that, right?
No. The muscle relaxing thing was like, oh, good thing I made those special off-brand muscle relaxing bullets to help so that you could support fucking Yusuke while he's fighting that really tough Grongi. And it turns into like it. That bullet was by far the best bullet she had conceived up to that point. It worked far more effective than every bullet that she had designed to kill. And then I made the statement, at nearly every bullet that she makes that isn't designed to kill a Grongi works infinitely better than the bullets designed to kill.
Until the ones that actually were designed to kill the Grongi.
Yeah.
So the humans... So, as this is happening... The Lady in Roses is saying how much the humans, have changed since 2,000 years ago, and how they're much more warlike than they were. Because I don't think we talked about it last time, but
no, we didn't talk about it last time because it didn't come up.
Right. So this time, because of the whole thing about the Daguva Kuuga symbol, it turns out that the Linto language originally never had a word for a warrior or a fighter. And that symbol originated from the Grongi, because until the Grongi showed up, they had never had a conflict and never needed a fighter or a champion.
Yeah.
So they never had that word, so they never needed a symbol for it. But then the Grongi showed up, and then Kuuga happened, and then they had a word or a symbol for their for a fighter, for a warrior, and that became the Kuuga symbol. But the problem with the Lady in Roses and this whole like she sees that the Linto have changed, and Ichijo seeing her and hesitating makes me really think that they had set up that they originally conceived like a whole plot point where like she was in her human form and they interacted, and then he finds out that she's a Grongi, and then he's hesitating because he still like I don't know had feelings for her, but that never happens. So that his hesitation in shooting her is like I guess because she looks like a human and not a monster form, but like it's still really I don't know.
It like you can see the traces of where they were where they wanted to do more, but then they just didn't do it.
They just didn't.
I actually had like it was like during the moment where Ichijo had shot her dead that I was like,
oh yeah, he extra shoots her dead, like 4 shotguns to the chest.
Not 4 shotguns.
4 shotgun shells. What fucking ever. My way was cooler. Ichijo's had 4 shotguns.
It's like
You know
I
you
was
can
like
do it,
I was
too.
sitting there looking. I was like,
Ichijo could snipe someone with a shotgun.
I was looking, and then I said that thing about the what looked like traces of a romantic subplot that never happened. And then I looked at Scott and said, "Don't worry, you'll get a Kamen Rider series that does it." Anyway.
Oh man. But yeah, it was really weird because she's the one who keeps talking about how much the Linto have changed based on her interactions with Ichijo pointing a gun at her. I guess that's because now the humans.
During the exchange where we first see Daguva fighting the bat, Ichijo comes across her and then shoots her in a non-vital spot, and then that's when she realizes that
all right,
the Linto are stronger now than ever before.
Yeah, or they're more vicious than they were before.
Yeah.
They're more willing to fight.
And then we get the actual moment that I've been waiting for the entire series that Super did not have the payoff that I wanted, and that was we finally had the moment where they had the exploding bullets. They shot the owl guy like 4 times, and then the humans with non-rider powers had finally taken down their first Grongi. Too bad it was like literally the third to last Grongi to ever exist.
Yeah, it was killed right before the second to last Grongi to ever exist, the Kuuga Grongi.
Yeah.
So we keep calling him the Kuuga Grongi because he's based off of a Kabuto beetle, where Kuuga is based off of a koala.
I would go as far as to argue that that he may not have even started as a Kabuto beetle. That it's just because he got the Daguva shard and that he's had long enough to assimilate it into his body. The Daguva shard is like, guess what now? You're a Kabuto beetle because that's the ultimate form that I've decided to give into the ultimate beings. Because he looks exactly before he starts doing the rising forms, he looks exactly like Daguva looked. But when Daguva went to body that bat.
Yep. So then we get a really trippy open, like the final battle takes like 3 episodes of lead up.
Yes, and there's a fight that we don't see, and all we get is that Kuuga or Godai got his shit pushed in.
So bad
that it so bad, and his Amadon shard is broken, and it'll take time to heal or whatever.
All right. Let's just say from the flashes we see of basically Yusuke having nightmares about it, is Daguva just looking at cars and setting them ablaze.
It's pyrokinesis.
He just literally Daguva just has pyrokinesis. That's his power. Just he's so powerful. He just looks at things. Oh, you know what we also forgot about? We also forgot about a amazing mighty form. Yusuke gets a new form. It's basically like rising mighty form, and it's black in color.
It's honestly like not even that.
It's kind of important because it's black. And it's important because it's black because he's almost gotten to ultimate form. Amazing mighty form. It's got 2 of the anklets on, so he can do a rider drop kick.
Yeah. Other than that, it's not really that important.
I thought it was cool. It was also it was really funny for us because we kind of saw it. Alan kind of saw it beforehand. Because we accidentally clicked on the Christmas clip show before that episode. So it starts off with him like showing off. Literally like a full body zooms in on the armor and the gold plating and all the cool stuff of Amazing Mighty Form, and he's just like, what the fuck is this? Is this Ultimate Form? And I go, absolutely not. You clicked on the wrong thing.
No. What it is we moved to the next episode. I didn't actually say anything. I just looked at you and I was really confused.
And I was like, that's definitely not supposed to be here.
And then I realized that it was the Christmas clip show special that we decided not to watch because nothing important happened. And then and then I was like, oh, my bad, because of how like alphanumeric works on computers. This came up before the episode that it was supposed to be after. And then, but anyway, we get to like Yusuke walking around to everybody saying his goodbyes, and he's gonna go on an adventure once he's done dealing with Daguba. And then
what's really funny about that is it was at this point that the restaurant owner realizes, wait a second, he's talking about fighting number 0. This entire time? Was he number 4? And like his mind is just fucking blown.
Yeah.
Because remember, Godai only ever refers to himself as Kuuga.
Never as number 4.
Never as number 4. And no one knows what Kuuga means.
Except for, there is literally at the end of the show, before the restaurant owner finds out, there's like 5 people who know what Kuuga means.
Yeah.
But anyway, he says his goodbyes to everybody, and everybody's like, oh yeah,
no, Godai, you're going on adventures, but we'll meet again, right? And he's just like, Daijobu, and gives the thumbs up.
Yeah, he doesn't even say that he's going to come back, implying that he never comes back ever. And then they go to a snowy mountain.
That's where Daguba is waiting.
Yeah.
It's Godai and Ichijo.
Yeah.
Not only, all right. So we're kind of missing like the build up here. Like the entire point of Daguba's thing is he wants to throw Godai into despair and darkness because he wants him to give in to his violent urges and thus continue the cycle forever. So no matter what, Daguba kind of wins. By saying, alright, so the whole mystery behind Daguba will enter Kuuga is a roundabout way of saying, is the poem with the when the holy spring runs dry. Holy spring ended up being another word for compassion. So if Kuuga ever stops being a person who cares about other people, then he will plunge the world into eternal darkness.
Because he just becomes the next Daguba, and then the whole thing will just go on.
Yeah, he basically becomes another Daguba because the Grongi are the same as Kuuga. Kuuga basically came.
Oh wait! Oh yeah. Okay, probably should mention this. We find out that the Grongi are just humans that found a way to turn into monsters using Amadon.
Well, I'm pretty sure we mentioned that earlier.
No, we didn't.
I definitely did. I tried to mention it. Because remember they say it early on when they're examining the bits and chunks and pieces.
But anyway, so he go like
I'd like to point out that Yusuke does go to Ichijo and say, hey, if I come back and I'm not me,
just shoot me.
My Amadam is still broken right here in my stomach. That's where I'm going to need you to shoot just in case. And Ichijo just goes, you got it.
So then they're on the snowy mountain. Daguba's there, and then Yusuke walks up to them, and they
as ultimate, like, this is when Yusuke finally gets ultimate form.
Yeah.
His ultimate form in the last 2 episodes. That is when he gets his final rider power up. The latest of any rider that I know.
Yeah, it's like it's the latest of all of them. But anyway,
wait, actually no. Decade Kuuga gets his rising ultimate form at the end of Decade in the movie.
Still before you know what the best part about about you saying this now is? I get to fucking tell you to shut up, because every movie in the Rider series takes place at least 4 at most 4 episodes before the finale. That's 4 episodes sooner than we fucking got Ultimate.
Wait. That's impossible, because Decade's finale is All Riders versus Daishocker.
No, it's not.
It's not?
Decade's finale is Kamen Rider Movie Wars, which is Double Cross Decade.
Are you fucking real?
Decade's actual finale takes place halfway through, or no, not even halfway, a third of the way through Double.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of fun with that one, but fuck.
Oh, but anyway.
God damn it. Either way, he gets his ultimate form. It looks super dope. It's all, majestic and gold plating and super cool, from
He's
back
super cool black and gold, and he's got fucking spikes.
Yeah, and he's got the four horns. And it's cool because it was back in the 2000s, and my edgy teenage self was definitely into it.
And then Daguba has the exact same form, but white. And I think he has a cape too. I thought he had a cape.
He might have had a cape. It was hard to tell in the fucking snowstorm.
Yeah, but anyway.
So they just set each other on fire.
Yes, because apparently when you've achieved ultimate form, you just have pyrokinesis.
So it was great because Daguba just raises his hand and sets Kuuga on fire, presumably for a second time. And then
Kuuga doesn't even raise his hand, just looks at him while he's on fire, and then Daguba catches on fire.
Yeah. And so they start fighting.
They start fighting with they're doing pretty basic fighting, and they're not. And then eventually they once they take enough damage in their ultimate forms, they just de-henshin to continue fighting each other, because if either one of them was to do a finishing move, if Godai doesn't want to do his finishing move, because it'll blow up the mountain with Ichijo.
It'll blow up the whole world.
Yeah, whatever. And then
canonically, Ultimate Form's Rider Kick has the potential to blow up the world.
And then Daguba doesn't want to do it because he wants Godai to become enraptured in darkness and continue the cycle.
Yep.
And then they keep fighting. They both fall on the floor, all bloody.
No, not just that. They both break each other's Amadam crystals.
Oh yeah, that. But anyway, they're both on the floor, bleeding out, and then they're all talking about then the next episode.
So wait, and then Ichijo finds their dead corpses and says, "Godai!" He just does the say my name scream, and that's the end of the penultimate episode. So then we get to the final episode, and I was really sad because I misremembered this episode. I thought it was better than it was. Because my misremembering led me to think that everyone was being super ambiguous about Godai's fate. I wonder if Godai would have enjoyed this fucking takoyaki or whatever. Or I wonder if Godai's smiling where he is. But no, they don't.
They super hard imply that he's off on his adventure.
That he's perfectly fine off on his adventure.
Yeah, and
it's okay because he's honestly, on a soul
all the dialogue would like I said to him when we were watching it, all the dialogue would have worked for a "is he dead" moment if somebody didn't say, "I wonder where his adventure is now."
That too. If they and you could even change the dialogue a little bit. You could change the dialogue a little bit and make it more ambiguous. But Ichijo's going back to his original town because he was actually supposed to be a police officer in another town, but Tokyo wanted him because he was Big Dick Ichijo. He was that dude who could snipe people.
He was the first person to. He was the first witness in the police to the Gronki attacks, and he was the first person to have to know more than nothing at all.
That's true.
And I guess he was a Big Dick G detective up until then too.
Well, of course he was. He accrued so much karma, he gave away their super prototype motorcycle and didn't get double fired. He did not get double fired for basically something that you would get extra fired for in America.
Yeah.
In America is way more lenient about firing than in Japan. Or whatever. Japan, it's we talked about this before, but Japan, he should have been double super fired. But apparently he was big dick karma collector enough to not have that happen. He was just that he accrued that much loyalty.
No. I would argue that fucking we are in a superhero world, America would be super pro. Oh, that guy's that guy's fighting the monsters, and you gave him the motorcycle. Cool.
You get a promotion.
It's not like majority of movie worlds aren't like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is just fuck every superhero ever.
But you know what I meant. You know what I meant. Like,
yeah.
He accrued enough karma points before, because this was really early on in his like monster hit squad investigation crew team.
Didn't even have a real monster hit squad until like I don't know, like another 10 episodes after that.
You know what I fucking mean, okay?
Yeah. Anyway, we get and then we get cuts to a beach, a random beach, and then eventually all the clips lead to Godai hanging out on the beach, seeing a bunch of kids hanging out and going like, have you guys heard of juggling? It's super cool.
They're all like white kids too. Like,
and there's like 2 black kids and one
but
Hispanic
they're all like
kid.
They're like American kids. He's gone off to America to adventure.
Yeah, and then he's juggling and all the kids are looking super confused. And then the next time they cut to him juggling, all the kids are like, yeah! Like,
they're super into it. It was super funny. Especially when he leaves and he says, bye-bye in, like, Japanese and whatever.
Every single one of those kids says bye both in Japanese and whatever their native language is.
It was super funny. But, alright. So that was Kamen Rider Kuuga. Closing thoughts. It's really solid. Like, I felt like it's a really good, especially in the first two acts. The first 2/3 of the show is really strong. The formula doesn't get old until like the last act, and until then, all the characters are super solid. But they do drop the ball in a couple of places. They miss out on a few things they could have done to help keep the characters a bit more fleshed out. Like, even though we love, say, Ichijo so much, we don't get too much more from him than, he's the super serious guy with strong sense of justice. We don't get that much more. Like, we get, like, why he has a sense of justice, and we get, like, that he's deep down he really does care, but he's just so stoic that it doesn't show through all the time.
Yeah.
But it's like, what am I saying? We get that, but it's not like a full-on like expansion for one of the 2 central main characters. Like, he doesn't get that much, say, in terms of, I don't know, development. Like, he becomes closer to Godai, but aside from that, he doesn't. I don't know. I wouldn't say he grows as a person. Maybe, I don't know.
He never. Throughout the show, he has the least character development in the entire show. Honestly,
it's not exactly of between him and Godai. Yes,
I mean character growth. He has the least character growth in the entire show.
Okay, yeah.
Fucking. No, my bad. Fucking Tsubaki has the least character growth. Because he's
perfect.
He's perfect. Yeah.
Tsubaki is perfect. I was gonna say
doesn't count. That doesn't count though. Like
yeah, because he's already fantastic. He's already a super emotional guy. He's really smart. Tsubaki is a great character. He doesn't get a lot of growth, but he also doesn't get a lot of expansion to his character. Like, yeah. he gets like the really funny moments, like the arm wrestle.
Yes,
I'll never forget that. That was so fantastic. I'd forgotten about it from my first viewing, and rewatching it was just like, oh wow, it was a treat. I was like, wow. And he's like really confident in himself. He
gets all the bitches.
He gets all the bitches,
except for Sakurako. He tried. He tried
super hard. Oh, I think my favorite moment where he tries to like get in there was like she calls him up and
asks for help
at the restaurant, which she got impromptu. Like the restaurant, like will just hire Godai's friends and family and his sister at random points.
They're not even hired. They're just told to help.
Oh, literally, Godai's sister walks in one day and the owner and the niece just throw an apron on her and say, "Hey, watch
No,
this
no,
store."
no. That's the least worst one of them all because the fucking place is empty when they do it. The worst is
Sakurako.
when the worst is when the one that we're talking about where Godai and Sakurako are there, and then Sakurako's working on her studies of like the fucking Linto language, and fucking Godai gets the call from.
Oh, the place is jam packed too.
Yeah.
Like there's people everywhere.
Yeah, and nobody else is there, and then Godai says, "Here, take care of it,"
and she's all by herself.
And then, but when Tsubaki shows up, like the place is empty. The owner and the niece show up, and then Tsubaki shows up with a bunch of flowers, and it's like, bro, you missed your timing super hard.
Oh, you definitely missed out. I don't know. Maybe I think he was trying to work on some other collarbones or something.
No, he was trying, like, he was looking for flowers. That's what it was.
Oh man, he took way too long though. But Tsubaki was fantastic. Sakurako was okay. Yeah. Like, it was cool having like an intelligent support character. But a big problem with her was like, I felt anyway, was that she was too. I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm a little like, I liked her, but I also like didn't like how. I don't know. I don't want to say whiny, but you know what I mean, right?
I mean, the problem of characters being whiny stems from the fact that they are showing concern for Godai, and because Godai super dismisses all their concerns even when it's valid, and then that's when they seem whiny, is when they keep going on about it. But then everything ends
up all daijobu.
Yeah.
Again, she also lacks a little. She gets a bit more character growth as she becomes more trusting of Godai, but she is a side support character. She has like a mini arc, but that's like super early on. Otherwise, she's just translator girl at that point. So near the end, after she like, even though she's becoming involved in the whole mystery behind the holy spring drying up, plunging the world into eternal darkness, blah blah blah.
BT dubs. When Godai turned to ultimate, he used kindness, so spring didn't dry up.
Yes, the spring did not dry up. It refilled over time.
He in fact said, instead of drying up the spring and becoming ultimate, I'll just overflow it and become ultimate.
Yeah. It was something like that. But
she said that he used compassion to turn into ultimate. That's
yes.
Words from her mouth.
Kill him with kindness.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You punch someone again and again and again, but you do it because you love them.
But anyway, favorite character, Tsubaki.
Definitely.
Second favorite character is
damn well it's Ichijo.
Nah, he's fourth actually.
Really?
No, he's third. My bad.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, who the fuck is third?
Second favorite character is the restaurant owner.
He was pretty funny.
Yeah. Third favorite character is Ichijo. Fourth favorite character, Godai, comes in at a solid fourth, and he would have been higher had he said the word "it's all daijobu." I don't know, like 150% less. oh
man, don't worry. According to you, we'll get to Tatakai.
Yeah, we'll get to that
when we get to Tatakai.
I actually like that character better than I do Godai.
We should talk about at least Godai and his growth and stuff like that a little bit.
Yeah.
I like Godai as a character. He kind of does wear thin. because
super early.
I agree. I mean, well, I had more tolerance for him than you did.
Yeah,
definitely a lot more.
It's because you knew what was coming up, and more of his growth came from all the scenarios that happened in the later half of the series.
Yeah. So I remembered all of that stuff. But according to that, it was something that you had kind of brought up with the porcupine one with all the dead kids.
Yeah.
If they had over time spent a little bit more focus on his repression of his frustrations, that would have been a bit more believable than fucking out of nowhere, like it almost kind of was.
Yeah, because my complaint, which you guys heard from probably heard from the last part, and if you're watching this one first, then I don't know what you're doing with your life,
especially an hour in.
When he's fighting the porcupine, he's getting really mad, and I personally, while watching it, am frustrated that he's getting mad because of the kid, getting mad that kids are dying, as opposed to the 5 billion other people that have died before this. And yes, I know I'm exaggerating. The tons and tons of people who have died before this. Why hasn't he gotten madder sooner? And then in the next episode, he offhandedly says to them, "I've been I don't know, guys. My anger kind of exploded because." I've been trying to be happy-go-lucky this whole time, while repressing my anger of all the victims that I've come across since basically the start of the series.
Yeah, basically. But I do like Godai. Even early on when he's like, "Oh, it's all gonna be Daijobu. It's all gonna be okay. I'm gonna beat the monster. I'm gonna do the Dougie. I'm gonna do the thing."
Yeah.
And he's just he's a solid main character. He's not my favorite kind of main character. He's not super flashy or over the top. He's actually a pretty down to earth character. And those are fine, but I prefer the over the top, Tendo Soji type.
Yeah.
So ridiculous that you can't help but hold them close to your heart.
Also, I like Godai better than I do Yosuke Onaida, because Yusuke in Decade has a different last name, or a different first name apparently.
What you mean last name? Godai Yusuke. Godai is his last name. Godai is his family name.
Oh, whatever. But anyway, he has a different family name. Yusuke in Decade is happy-go-lucky, but stupid.
Oh, damn! He doesn't know Chopin's Revolution?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, absolutely not! Damn.
Yeah.
That's a goddamn shame, because Godai's actually, he's not stupid. As happy-go-lucky and free-spirited as he is, he's not that much of an idiot. He doesn't do anything overtly stupid. He's
he just like a regular person, he has his dumb moments, but he's not. But all of his good qualities are never overshadowed by his sheer stupidity, like Yusuke.
Damn. Shots fired at alternate world Decade Kuuga.
Yeah. The one who gets the strongest.
The one who gets Rising Ultimate. So I want to take this opportunity to point out that there's a fan theory that Ultimate Form was originally supposed to be Growing Form's ultimate rising, or a rising form of Growing Form, sort of how Amazing Mighty turned black upon full usage of the Rising Power. Growing Form potentially turns black and gains the ultimate power upon the usage of all the rising forms. But Decade decides to go with the whole, oh look, he didn't use the golden power with ultimate form, may as well make Rising Ultimate Kuuga.
Yeah.
So they kind of defeat the symbolic purpose of Growing Form becoming ultimate form.
The problem with that theory, and the reason why it's only a theory, and never really confirmed is because if Yusuke had moments where
Yusuke, Decade Yusuke?
If Godai had
Okay.
moments where he was using growing form as just using growing form more often, I'd be like, maybe that's when I would start to think maybe he's just using growing form because like the name implies, the more he's using it, the more he's growing. But then no, it never happens. It literally, like, you know what would have been a better name for it? Larva form.
Yeah, but
because when I hear growing, the ing part is just like the constant grow. The constant
maybe
grow.
no. You know what I think. You know what I think it is. Maybe it was accumulation from all the forms going into growing form that was growing it.
It's whatever. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say about this.
Oh, all right. No. Let's wrap it up because you've seen basically all the other Kamen Rider series except for Hibiki. Oh man, that's gonna be fun for both of us.
I haven't started watching Build either yet.
Oh well, we'll get to that down the line. Remember, I told you to not watch it specifically until we get there.
I thought you said I could watch it. I'm just doing the thing that I had honestly forgotten that you had told me not to watch it if you did, and now I'm waiting until they get 10 episodes in because that every new Rider series I wait till they get 10 episodes in and then I watch.
Well, all right, fine. But if you do start watching it. Do not tell me any goddamn thing about it.
I'm probably not gonna. I'll probably hold off on it.
But all right. So out of 10, what would you give Kuuga?
I would give it a.
You can use half numbers if you really need to. Cause I'll give my number.
I'd give it a 5.5.
5.5?
Yeah.
Just slightly above average?
Yeah, slightly above average.
Huh. I would give it a solid 6. I was gonna say 7, but I'm just that last third really was kind of fucking boring. I didn't even write notes for most of that last act. For the last 15 episodes, we spoke from memory, and we did pretty good. Not like that first time. That first time where we had to just
we got detailed accounts of the first 6 episodes, and then the next 14 was us going, I think a thing happened.
Yeah, this last third really does hurt the show. So I would say a solid 6, maybe 6.5. The good points for the show, I really do enjoy the music. The music definitely fits the show. We didn't really touch on it, but I really do enjoy the music. I enjoy a lot of the characters, even the side characters. There wasn't anyone who really overstayed their welcome.
The littlest cancer patient did.
Littlest cancer patient. He gets an episode and a half.
Yeah, and he's in the show an episode and a half longer than he should be.
All right, yeah, that's fair. He definitely amounted to all of the zeros of things, but the side characters are really solid. I wouldn't even call him a side character. I would have called him a one-off. The 1.5 episodes is a one-off. Not like the sensei. The sensei is definitely a recurring side character who showed up a couple of times, even though he did absolutely nothing beyond, I guess I'm gonna quit teaching because Godai wasn't wearing the same uniform as he was in grade school.
He didn't play hopscotch.
And he didn't say the exact code phrase we promised we'd say to each other when we saw each other that I forgot about until 10 hours ago. Yeah, okay, teach. Yeah, okay, sensei. Sensei-sama. Kun. And I also enjoyed the fight scenes. I want to put that on record. I really enjoyed the early fight scenes. Some of the later ones are kind of but the early fight scenes where they start with the grappling and the down and the dirty and the collateral damage, because they stop that a little bit as it goes on.
Yeah, they
a little bit.
I like the song. It's okay.
I'm talking about the music overall, though, not just like the theme song. Like
I'm talking about the theme song because I'm gonna unless I go back and rewatch it, songs have to leave the impression that is the best song I have ever heard in that entire show. Even better than the opening. It has to have that impression, otherwise I'm not going to remember it.
I try to pay attention a little bit.
It happened in Ghost. Ghost, one of the side characters...
Wait. Can't tell me. I know you want to.
No, but the statement I'm going to say is so vague. He gets a song that I think sounds way better than the opening. And that's the only reason I remember it.
All right, good. All right.
Anyway, so the song's not the opening isn't particular. To me, it's okay. I like more upbeat poppy songs, honestly. So this one just not being terrible was okay.
It's definitely more my style of music. So we have differing opinions. I think it's a really solid song, really strong, especially when they do the blah, 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 can't talk. When they do the second verse for the last act.
Yeah, the fact that the plot or the whole third arc plot kind of just collapsed in on itself and nothing happened. They had the setup, but then just nothing happened.
Not nothing, but they definitely set up a lot more, but it wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
it's definitely a solid Rider series.
Yeah,
I would still recommend it to people who like Kamen Rider, because I think it's also a good starting point. If you want to watch Kamen Rider, if you want to get into it, and if you're listening to this and you're not into Kamen Rider, how the hell did you find us?
How did you find us, and how did you get this far in? Yeah. I don't understand.
Yeah, throwing out recommendations on an hour and a half into a third video.
No. I can understand people who have watched a Kamen Rider series and said, I'm just gonna listen to these guys talk about Kuuga because I'm not gonna watch it. I mean, it's granted, we're just gonna recommend that you watch Kuuga anyway, but the guy who doesn't know anything about Kamen Rider, who made it this far in...
I could be giving them recommendations to recommend to their friends or something. Yeah. If you have someone who...
All of Kuuga's forms were okay. They're not trying to go over the top, but then again, I'm the person who likes over the top stuff, so they were okay. That just when it got to Ultimate, and then Ultimate just had two spikes and it was black, I was like, yeah, whatever.
It was definitely more like a symbolic moment than a show off how flashy we are moment. Not like
they probably also didn't have the budget for an extra costume. They just repurposed another costume.
Oh yeah, all right. One thing about this show, you could tell they made this on a budget.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's definitely made on 2 bags of peanuts, $1 and $1 menu.
Yeah.
I
like it. I like later shows or later series better that have smaller casts, and they do a lot more with those people as opposed to having 5 gerbillion people, especially the 5 gerbillion one-off people.
Well, this show didn't have that big of a recurring cast. We had Godai, Ichijo, Sakurako, Tsubaki, Enokita, which is the scientist lady. And now I'm going into like 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we actually
they had fairly consistent. They had fairly consistent tertiary characters in it, and it was whatever.
Like Sugita and what was the other cop's name? The one he brought bread to. I heard you like bread. I love that scene.
I would say he's a secondary character, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
when I say tertiary, I mean fucking like fucking Mayo, the 16-year-old. I'm gonna study archaeology and fucking help figure out this mystery with the death of my father. And then she's like, I realized I wasn't that good at it, so I'm just gonna go back to
playing the flute or
whatever.
Or Jean. Like, as much as we like Jean, because we do,
I love John. John. Oh, god damn it! John is number 2. John I have to move everybody down below that.
So Ichijo did end up being number 4 for you.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Jean's definitely endearing, but he's definitely tertiary.
Yeah.
Like, he's not involved in anything.
Yeah.
Plot related. After he loses control of the mystic bullshit completely out of his hands.
Yeah. We'll get around to like the same cast size when we get to like Kabuto and Gaim.
Did Kabuto have a big cast?
Yeah, there's a fuck ton of writers in it, period. That's like
there was like 5 writers.
It's like a metric fuck ton of
them. 100%. I don't remember.
And most of them were like there's one of them I fairly like. Drake is
definitely a
tertiary character. He's a writer.
Drake was definitely a fucking tertiary character.
With Ryuki, you get fucking 13 writers. Fucking 4 of them don't even show up in the show, and when the tertiary writers show up, it's not like they hop back in like 10 episodes later to be like, oh hey guys. No, when they're gone, they're gone.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing. God, no, but I'm just saying in Kabuto, I literally don't remember there being that many more. There was Kabuto. Kagami. Whoever, what's his fucking name? Who he came to be.
If you count out two tertiary characters, I believe that Kabuto has the same amount as Kuuga. But when you get to like everybody past that, who's like one-off episodes, I believe Kuuga did more.
Well, fuck off counting.
Oh, my bad.
I can't.
My bad. Kuuga has more only because I forgot that Ichijo has an entire cast of characters working under him in a boardroom.
All right, we only see like the Babu Kohai, like that him. Like he's the only one that matters, Babu Kohai. Which I really thought he did something more, but I forgot, and he doesn't.
He does.
Poor Babu.
You know what would have been cool if
he got to kill a Gangi?
If Babu Kohai was the person ended up being the guy who worked under Ichijo and having the Kuuga calendar, that would have been the best.
That would have also been the best. Yes.
He would have definitely been in my top 5 if he had moved up like that.
Yeah, but so that basically about wraps it up.
Next time we're going to be talking about Agito.
Kamen Rider Agito, which is sort of like a sequel to Kuuga, apparently.
Yes, it is. It is. And like for all of you guys who are like, "Oh, spiritual successor, I'll slap you in the face." They literally mentioned Kuuga in the first episode.
Yeah, so apparently this entire, Alan's been telling me almost this entire time that a lot of things are happening in Kuuga that are very connected to things that happen in Agito. I guess I'm about to find out.
There are some things that happen that are connected, and there are some things that happen that are, similar. And it's like we'll get into it when we do Agito, because if I start talking about it now, it's just spoilers.
Oh, we'll definitely get into it eventually.
Yeah.
But another note: until Kabuto, I'm flying blind. I have no idea what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
So until next time, we will see you again.
Bye.